Hi all, welcome back to more Enemy Action Ardennes, playing the Allied Soul. This is my take 2 and we're on the 17th part 10, I think. Yeah, just done, which I think was part 9, just a little while ago, so I haven't uploaded things. I had to charge my phone up, but I've got it charged up, so I've not been away that long. I know that seemed like a long part and not much happened. Well. It's just par for the course on it, really. Okay, 47th, that's the card that we're activating. Yeah, usually I used to put the card out there just as a reminder of what we're doing, in case I forget, because things are going on that long. Right, so I moved everybody. Yeah, there was a lot of things to think about. There always is, I think. You know, and you see some of these interesting moves, and then this one coming down here, and you sort of wonder, it's a bit strange, has this done this? And then this town's been left unoccupied, so is that one. Is it alright? Is everything good? You know, all it needs, I've got to be careful, all it needs for this, shall we say, to maybe move, I mean, it's not going anywhere to move, but for it to move away from this road and then supply to be traceable again, then all of a sudden supply is traceable to there, and then, you know, maybe up there as well if this unit, well, you know. So anyway, right, so I moved everybody. Anyway, there's no reserves, there's no assault coordination, the support card, but we do have the 58th card, Panzer Corps, so they could possibly go next, because the combat tactic is infantry infiltration, which might not get used, to be honest, but we'll see. So we've done all the movement. We're going to do checks for attacks now. 9.5, isn't it? Where have we got units adjacent to allied units? Well, there's one here. Nothing there. I mean, this is in ascending order, but this is 3 against 4. Remember, no assault coordination, and he's coming across the river, so it's actually 1 against 4, so that's not going to be considered. This one is also not going to be considered. I know I'm maybe jumping ahead in the numbers, but I'm just putting these out of the way. This is going to be a consideration. This is the only one that's going to be thought about. So unit selector number 2, lead unit, checking against this. We have a strength of 4 and plus 3 is 7, and 4 is 11. Remember, the 58 core units underneath are not involved. So 48, that's 11, and then we've got this guy here, nothing coming across the river, that's 14. 14 against 4, he is in a forest. 14 against 4, let's say no assault coordination, which would bring in the 58 core units, that'd be a different story altogether, but 14 against 4, however, he's in a 4, so that's a +1. 14 against 5. He doesn't have an IP. He's in a VP town. That's irrelevant. That doesn't matter. So 14 against 5 though. So that is only 2 to 1. It's not adjacent to supplied allied unit. Nope. Not clear terrain. It's not dispersed or low supply. Yeah, 14 against 5. So it is only 2 to 1 odds. So we're going to have to roll on this. So yeah, this might not actually go ahead. 2 to 1. Modifiers. Attacker includes elites. It does. He's not elite. This unit here is elite. He's the only one actually. Maybe his buddy underneath. Yeah, the 2 of them. They're elite, so there's going to be a -1 to that. Activated by army group card. No. Support card shows applicable combat tactic. Well, no, I don't think so, because infantry infiltration, this guy's already flanked. It's not a 1-hex attack. Just checking infantry infiltration. Defender is if the defender's a non-town or city hex, well, he's in a town, so it's not going to do anything. If they were attacking from 1 hex, it would be considered, because because that would avoid that. But Because it says, furthermore, the attack is not considered a 1 hex attack, even if all attacking units are in 1 hex, and even if the defender is in a town or city. So if that was the case, the card would be eligible. But it's not. It's not going to do anything. All it's going to do is give them a chip pool. We know that doesn't count. So it's not an applicable support combat tactic. So just a -1, and we're at 2-to-1 odds. So let's do that. An 8 -1 is a 7. So I think maybe not. 7 is cancel of less than 3-to-1 or attacking from 1 hex. Well, no, not attacking from 1 hex, but it is less than 3-to-1. Situationally, 14 against 5. Yeah. Yeah, 14 against 5, Grant, is just 2-to-1. Yeah, okay, so that's not happening. Yeah, why are you doubting yourself there? 14 I had, 4, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. That's all you're getting. No reserves, no assault coordination. The allied unit is 4, but he's getting a +1 for being in the forest. 14 against 5. Yeah, it's 2-to-1, so cancel less than 3-to-1. Yeah. That's not going to happen. Now, you've got to watch here that, because he was a lead unit check-in, if there was another allied unit that, like, these units were adjacent to, they could then be checked as a lead unit with attack determination on the other units. But they're all only adjacent to this one allied unit. Them, and that are all just adjacent to that. So that is that. You know what? That's going to be the impulse over, unless there's some bouncing back to reserves. Potentially these could go back to the reserves then, couldn't they? That's our checks done. 9.6. Just back there now. I'm going to go forward. Checking ascending order. So, because these two, well, the only units that didn't do anything are the 2 that would just check for attack, and the 1 in Bustone. He's not bouncing back to reserves, right? But these 3 here, and we check these in ascending order. So we're looking at selector number 2. I don't know if it needs to be an active unit. So check active units in ascending order. If all they apply, the unit did not move or attack. Well, it did not. Unit was not placed on the map from reserves. It was not. The unit is adjacent to allied unit. It is. The unit can trace reserve supply. Yes. And by the way, I'm looking at all 3 of these units because they're all following this guideline. Yeah, reserve supply is fine. The removal of the unit from the hex would leave at least 2 steps in the hex, 3 steps in a VP hex. It's not a VP hex. So as long as they bounce, if they go away, they're leaving 2 steps in the hex. Well, that does mean he's going to go back to reserves because he's leaving at least 2 steps in the hex. Now, hang on a minute. Is this right? Where's... Yeah, I think so. I don't think there's a restriction on them. I'm just thinking they weren't able to move. But the thing is, if they activate again, then, you know, they're going to come in as reserves and they're going to come into these hexes anyway. Yeah, I think this is okay. I don't need to check. 9.21 doesn't consider for this, is it? Yeah, that applies to the movement methods. Yeah. I think the thing I was a wee bit concerned about was, does it mean active units when it says removal of the unit from the hex would leave at least 2 steps in the hex? Well, it doesn't. The removal of the unit from the hex would leave at least 2 steps in the hex. Yeah. So that's number 2 bounce back. Number 4 is going to bounce back as well because it did not move. It can do all the other things. It's leaving at least 2 steps in the hex. So he's going back as well. So 1 second panzer. And then this guy's going to bounce back as well because he's going to leave 2 steps in the hex as well. That is a 2nd Panzer unit. So all 3 of them are bounced back to the reserves. And it doesn't mean that's a bad thing for the Germans, you know? I mean, it's sort of, they've got this guy here. I think if all of them had bounced back and no 47 core units were around that, it might feel a bit strange. And I think go by the rules, that could have happened. It could have happened. I mean, if this guy had been stacked with other units as well and not moved, he would have bounced back as well. But, well, anyway. Okay, well, I think it's right. As usual, Grant always thinks it's right. And sometimes it's not. Right, there's no IPs placed yet. Remove disperse markers. Right, that's an impulse over, but the support card did not get used. So, it's going to become a 2nd impulse for them. And it's going to be the 58 core, which are going to have a look around this guy again. So it's, yeah, they might have a summer force. Maybe the force is slightly better. But we shall see. Right, that's that impulse dealt with anyway, like I say. So that can go away. Discarded. Right, we're getting through the deck now. And then, of course, like I said, this was a support card, didn't get used. It's coming to come across, and we're going to have another impulse. And I'm just going to push on, I think. See if I can create a 2nd part. I'm sure you'll be able to get that done, Grant. Right, no units in the reserve box, no support card this time, just checking. And I think it's only these 5 units. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right, that one's underneath is infantry. So there's 4 mechanized units, 1 infantry unit. Is that right then? Not missing anybody then, no? No. No. Just the 5 units. Yeah, I'm hunting about there. I feel like there's maybe 1 missing. There's only 1 infantry unit then. In that core. To start with anyway. Yeah, there's some more that come in. Okay. Right, it's just the units round about Vilsam then. So there's no roadblocks. The objective marker is exactly the same as what we checked for the 47, so let's not move in. Yeah, I don't think we're even going to move these units, are we? I don't think so. I mean, it's a very similar impulse to what we've just had with the 47 core. Because they were they not all in these 3 hexes as well? And all we done was move 1 of them into there. Yeah, because they all bounced back. No, 2 of them bounced back to there, 1 to there. Maybe there was nothing in there. I think there was somebody in there. Or was it that guy? That was that guy, wasn't it? And he went out and in, yeah. So, yeah, I don't think they're going to move then. Because even trying to adjust, they can't adjust. They can't move away from Vilsam. They need to stay adjacent to Vilsam. Because that's a restriction to them. Yeah, and there's no cause surround because he's surrounded now. So I don't believe there's any movement method. And hang on. Tell you one that might happen. Is infiltrate from here to here, maybe. Let me just quickly glance through the movement methods to make sure I'm not missing something. Well, actually, and this is the bit I got myself sort of tied up in that last part was, I mean, there's no, they can't get to these 2 empty hexes, which is what 9.24 would want to try and achieve for them. However, this guy can get 1 hex, in fact, well, either both of these could get 1 hex closer to their army objective by going out and in, still staying adjacent to that and achieving a one hit. Well, to be honest, Grant, when it comes down to movement method 11, are they not going to do that? We don't need to be talking about infiltrating even. Yeah. I think I'm just wondering here about movement method 2. Move to a hex both closer to unit's army objective and adjacent to allied VP hex. Yeah, that kicks in here, doesn't it? That does kick in. Well, right, hang on. This is done in ascending order, Grant. There's unit selector number 1. Now, that is not closer to his army objective from where he is. Remember, we can't get into these 2 hexes. That's not closer. Right, let me move the card. Right, hang on. That is closer, I think. That's 9 away. Yeah, that's going to be 10 away, isn't it? Yeah, clearly. So that hex is closer. That one's not. Is that right? Hang on. Yeah, so this is closer and this is closer. So yeah, just with movement method 2, selector number 1 is going to move into here, isn't he? Assuming he can. Hang on. 1, 2. Actually, I don't think he can. 1, 2 breaking zone of control. 3 into the clear hex. 4, 5. Right, can't get into there. No, can't get into there, but he can get into there, and that is 1 hex closer. And whether he's moving by movement method 2 here or not, movement method 11 is going to do the same, isn't it? But I think we're still looking at movement method 2 here. I think. Yeah, because even though he's staying adjacent to the same allied VP hex, I think this is movement method 2. Let me know if it's not. If I don't look at this, I don't know why I'm getting. I think that previous bit was sort of throwing me a bit. Right, I think he can go 1, 2 breaking zone of control and then 3 back into here, getting 1 hex closer and adjacent to the same allied. Yeah, he's achieving the closer to the army objective, right? Now, interestingly, selector number 2 would be next. He can't get closer and stay adjacent to that. Selector number 3 would be next, and he can go 1, 2 breaking zone of control, and then 3, 4 back into this hex, getting 1 hex closer as well. And interestingly, that now opens up a space in there for selector number 5 to go in there. Is that doing anything wrong? No, it's not. So he's going to go 1, 2 breaking zone of control, 3 back into there as well. Hey, now stop. He's going to adjust. He's going to adjust, Grant. Isn't he? So he wants to make that move, but then he's ending adjacent to an allied unit, so he's going to adjust into the empty hex. Yeah. So none of they would have done that, but he's not going to move because of that. Because he's, yeah, he wants to prefer an empty hex. So he'll stay there. And I think they're all under movement method 2. And even if I move along now to movement method 11 and this guy still wants to get closer to his army objective, which he can, again he's going to adjust back. Yeah. That's all the movement, I think. So all it's done is nudged a couple of the units closer, but they're still staying here to try and deal with Veal Sam. Yeah, going with that. Okay. And again, in actual fact, if the attack doesn't go ahead, these 2 units will probably bounce back to the reserves. Won't they? I think so. Okay, well, let's check see if they can attack. So selector number 1 is under here. Yeah, he's the lead unit. Checking, so we've got 4, 8. Hang on a second. We did have 1 infantry. I don't think. Well, again. Each hex adjacent to an allied VP hex. A unit starting adjacent to an allied VP hex moves adjacent to another VP hex only if closer to the unit's army objective and allowed by German movement restriction 9.21a. Yeah. Why did the infantry not move then? Why did we not move the infantry in there as well, Grant? Right, selector number 1 moved into there from there. Selector number 2 couldn't do anything. Selector number 3 moved into there from there. And then I've skipped over unit number 4, haven't I? Because 4 can go in there as well, can't it? Again, closer to objective next to VPX. Or, if I move on to the first movement method 5 with the infantry, move and that spells it out a bit better. It says move active infantry units each to a hex adjacent to an allied VP hex. A unit starting adjacent to an allied VP hex moves adjacent to another VP hex only if closer to the unit's army objective. Yeah, he's not moving closer to another VP hex, so Grant, is he? He's moving to the same VP hex, but he's getting closer. It's really bothering me that I'm getting something wrong with that, but again, if I don't move them by any of the movement methods, come move closer to the army objective on movement method 11, that would allow me to do it. Yeah. But I still think this is okay from movement method 2. So he would have moved as well, out and in. 1, 2, breaking zone and control, and then 3 back in. So that's the situation. So 3 units have moved closer to their army objective. So now in actual fact, only this guy will be able to bounce back to reserve if nothing happens. Right, let's check for attack. Again, no support card. This guy's not involved. 4, 7, 10. That's not a 3-step unit, is it? No, it's not. 7, 10, 14, 16. Oh, we're going to have the 3 to 1 this time, just aren't we? So we've got 16 against 4. But he's getting a +1 for being the forward. So 16 against 5. So this is 3 to 1 this time. So this may well happen. 16 against 5. Yeah. So modifiers are going to be a -1 because Germans have elites, we do not. It's not an army group card. There's no support card, so there's a -1 as a die roll, but this time the odds are 3 to 1. So 3 to 1 with a -1 is a 5. So I think this is going to go 5 -1 is 4. Cancel less than 2 to 1 or only defend their armor. No, they have armor. We do have armor, but they have armor too. So this attack's going ahead. So in they come. 3, 6, 10, 14, 16. So 16 against 4 this time. Not situational. It will be 4 to 1, won't it? So 16 against 4, 4 to 1. Yeah, 4 to 1. They're going to draw a combat tactic, are they? Yeah, it's not overwhelming. They have no reserves. Right, yeah, combat tactic. Assault coordination. That's going to bring in the 47 core unit. Right, so assault coordination brings in this unit as well. It's adjacent. It's also from the same army. No, assault. Sorry, I'm thinking reinforced battle. So yeah, he's involved now as well. So that was, well, it's going to add on our chip pool. It's not going to add, because what was it, 16? That's 19 to 4 now. So the odds are still 4 to 1. He's got Assault Coronation. Okay, no support card, no reserves. Chip pools are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1 for Elite 7. 1 for Assault Coronations 8. And we've also got to remember that Assault Coronation reduces their hits by 1, doesn't it? So kind of nasty. Right, no reserves. Can we play in a combat tactic? Well, got core artillery, but I really want to keep this to deploy my 2 5th Corps units. And then I've got tank battalion, but I'm kind of wanting that to put my cavalry back into the place that it should be, because I feel like I should do that to keep things sort of. I mean, yeah, I know I've said I would maybe have done something completely different with it, but I'd like to still get into Trois Pommes. Well, for more than one reason, you know. I mean, this needs to be covered, and you know. Yeah, I mean, I do want to get the 5th Corps units. I think we're just going to take a chance again and hope for the best here. And the other thing I should really be considering myself is getting this guy supplied. Well, here's the thought: if he does get knocked out of Il Sam here, it maybe could put him in a place where he's going to be able to trade supply, but then we lose Il Sam, don't we? Oh, let's just go with it. Right, we're not going to do anything. So they're going to get what we said, 41 odds, 8 chip pools. I am an armoured unit in a town, in a forest, so pretty decent there. Hang on a sec. Hi all, right, back to finish this, the 17th part 10 it is, isn't it? I got distracted where I left off there, and never go back to it last night, so this is the next again day. Yeah, so it's part 10. Part 9, I watched it back today and I've uploaded it. Looked okay to me, so yeah, you know, it's nice to see comments, but you always know that comments are generally going to be telling you that I think you done this wrong, or you did this wrong and this should have happened. So yeah, as they say, no news is good news, but I suppose it is. Yeah, you know, it'd be nice to have feedback, but I mean, yeah, I know it's yeah, more than likely if I see a comment, I'm like, oh god, what have I done now? Sort of thing. Anyway, yeah, I didn't think there was anything wrong. Right, so I decided to go with this attack, and I wasn't playing a combat tactic myself, was I? And yeah, this is it. Taking a bit of a chance. This guy survived it the last time, but I can't remember what he was up against the last time. Probably worse than this, wasn't it? Yeah, because I think the 47th were there as well, and yeah, I could be wrong. Oh no, hang on. This guy's been dragged in, isn't he? He's been assault coordinated in, yeah, because of that. Right, well, I've got the odds, 4-1, 8 chip pools. Do I want to check it again? No, I mean, it's on the video. Everyone was alright, Grant. Right, I'm checking it, as you can see. 10, 14, 16, 19 to 4. Yeah, bringing that in, it was 16 to 4, which is bang on 41. The extra 3 coming in didn't do anything. None of that coming across the river. Okay, 41, chip pools 3, 4, 5, 6, 1 for elite 7, 1 for assault coordinations 8. Okay. Right, and we are not playing anything. I am an armoured unit, combined arms, in the forest. It's a town, so going to soak up a hit as well. Right, let's get the first chip. Right, bad start. It was 6-1 on the front. I was kind of hopeful that it might not hit, but greater than equal to 4-1. Yeah, and we did have a tank battalion that could have reduced the odds to 3-1, I think. Actually, with that other unit coming into battle, it would have been 19 to 5. yeah, still, it would have been 3-1, wouldn't it? So there you go. If we played Tank Battalion, this chit wasn't counting. But, well, it's easy to say that now, isn't it? Right, number 2. Okay, this one doesn't apply, which I suppose is, well, I would have liked it to have applied, but IP Crossfire, it's got disperse unsupplied on the back side. He's not disperse unsupplied either. IP Crossfire applies if the defender occupies an improved position. Well, he's in a town, can't. Just as I was drawing that, I say, what I want to see is some forest. I want to see some forest chits, because I think they're always D minuses, aren't they? Right, third one. Okay, attacker of wheat. The priority is attacker green, but I don't think any of these units are green, are they? No. So they do have elites. So that counts. That one doesn't count. Front, it was dispersed unsupplied again. Defender adjacent that we don't have, so. Alright, no air power played. That's 5 down, 3 more to come. We could do a D-1. Oh, just as well we went disperse unsupplied. That's the third one. Well, that was on the front. Defender adjacent again, which doesn't count anyway. Right, so we're still okay here, I think. Although, yeah, I forgot. We're having to retreat. If we have to retreat, we're taking a step loss, aren't we? We really want a D-1 here, and there's 2 to go, is it? 2, 4, 6. Yeah, 2 to go. Come on, get me some forest jets. Well, that was 6-1 on the front, so I was kind of scared that it might have been 4-1 on the back. It's not. It's combat engineer in the back. Combat engineer applies if the attacker only played the combat engineer's combat tactic. Well, he did not. Right, 1 to go. So I'm just going to keep the camera rolling here and try and pull a forest jet, because we really want a D-1. Thing is, if I don't get it, I'm just going to take the hat and sit there, am I? Yeah. Right, well, let's try and get something. Only attack a combined arms? No, we've both got combined arms, haven't we? Damn. Yeah, it doesn't apply. We got combined arms too. 2, 4, 6, 8. That's the 8 chits. The results are D2. So 2 hits to us. None of them. They had assault coordination anyway, so we're going to get a soak up one. It was really, I wasn't bothered about that. I really wanted to just get a D-1. Right, take this away, take that away, take that combat tactic away. That's another card away at least. So D2, right, he's in a town, soaks up 1. Now it's our choice, we take a step loss or we retreat and take a step loss. So it's a bit of a no-brainer, isn't it? We're just going to stay where we are. Hopefully this flips to a 3 strength. It does. Oh, right. And this isn't just one that I've made up. As you can see, I've scrolled it in. I think I mentioned that I'd done that. I couldn't remember where it was. That's errata. Excuse me. Could I find it in the bit errata just so that you know I'm not making things up? Errata all games. Alright, counters. The combat strength on the reduced side of CCA 9A of 8 core, which is that one, isn't it? No, that's C. Oh, should be 2. Right. The combat strength on the reduced side of CCB 9A 8 core should be 3. So that's CCB. That one should be 3. Okay, I'll just zoom in there. Just the CCB should be 3 and CCA should be 2. So where is CCA? There he's there. He's the one down in, is it Beaufort? So my guess is that if I flip him, it's going to be a 2. I've scrolled it. You can see he was a 3 to start with. You can see I've scrolled it in as a 2. So that was a ra. Okay. Right, and then we take the step, we stay where we are, take the step loss. Well, yeah, I'm saying not to retreat, but he's surrounded and out of supply. You know, I could retreat him into there, but I'm giving up the victory points, am I? We stand the units in supply. I don't know. think I'm still better leaving it where it is. I'm just thinking, you know, if I can move this unit in, but my last two cards are going to be deploying the 5th Corps units, and then, like I've said, I'm going to move the cavalry unit with any one unit move. I mean, I do need to do that. You know, I do need to do that now. I need something into a pot. If it's not the cavalry unit, then I've got to put this guy in there. Well, hold on. No, I can't even deploy. I can't deploy the 5th Corps units in there. Well, actually, there's the boundary anyway. They've got to deploy north of that line. But they'd be 2 away. And anyway, they've got to be... They can't be strategically placed, deployed. So in actual fact, they need to be 3 away from these guys or something like that, and be 3 away from the Vonderheit unit. It could be kind of awkward to deploy them, actually. Yeah, I think it could be. Although, I think if it comes to it, I want to say if it comes to it, you can use somebody else from their army to be 3 away from. If you can't deploy them within 3 of their corps, I think you can then, once we get around the instructions, they then deploy them within 3 of the army. So this guy here, maybe they could go, well, remember, if you're on the map page, you could be 2 away from this rather than 3 away. So I'm sure I'll be able to find somewhere to put them. So do we just leave the guy in Vale Sam? I mean, he's going into Lows of Eye next. Well, I think he's still better sitting where he is. Yeah, I'm just going to leave it. I'm going to leave it. Right. Right. Well, that'll be the 58th done, won't it? There's no advance after combat. There was only the 5 units, 3 of them in there, 1 there, 1 there. Panzer unit came in with assault coronation. So there's no other units to do. That's German impulse over. What did we do last turn? I've not got anybody marked. What did we do last impulse? Was it move the 12 Corps units? I've not marked them, that's why. I'm seeing in the discard pile, I'm seeing this card anyway. Yeah, because that was the one with reinforced battle in it, but I kept saying I wanted to move these units, didn't I? Yeah, so that must have been my last impulse, I believe. It's not that I was wanting to do the 12 Corps again, but I should have marked that just to remind me. Okay, I'm just going to jump into my impulse then. And let's just do what we said we were going to do, right? In place or any one unit move. Well, I've still not hunted down my sugar cube. Actually, you know what? That would be in the Terraformer Mars. That's a Terraformer Mars one as well. Well, you know what? There's no cards in my draw pile anyway. Well, that's not the point, Grant. Hang on. Right, I've got it. My wee sugar cube. So, yeah, my way of dealing with that is just to place that on top of there, saying that that's us had our activate any one unit for the day. I mean, I probably would have remembered. I've only got one other card left anyway, so... but you can see how you could get lost with that, especially the length of time I can spend in between having a shot at the game, you know. So, right, okay, so activate any one unit, that's what I'm going to do. And yeah, I'm just going to do what I said and activate this 18 Corps unit. Strategically moving it 1, 2. Yeah, I talked about not moving adjacent to that, but then I was watching it back thinking, well, Grant, this is it's not got a zone of control because it's bracketed, but that's not what I was meaning, was it? It was the extended strategic movement. I get the feeling that it doesn't matter if it's bracketed or not, you can't move adjacent to a German unit. Let me just find that. Not that I don't need to do it anyway. Allied strategic movement bonus 10.5. 10.5. The unit may not move adjacent to an enemy unit, even a unit that exerts no control. So there you go. So we can't move up and down there. We can't move adjacent to the Wonder height. So, but I can move. Remember, I can double his. It's doubling up his movement allowance to 12. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Oh, I can only just make it. Yeah, but I counted that. I think at first I thought I could come down here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, that's what we're doing. Moving down into Toipon, which fixes the mistake that was made earlier. And yeah, I mean, there could have been a bit. I mean, I don't think anybody would have complained if I had just moved that somewhere there and then moved this unit into Toipon. I don't suppose you would have had an issue with that. But I guess I felt like I had to put that unit back there. But we'll just do it that way, right? So, well, that's the impulse. So that's me. I had my any one unit move. Now, that green cube's going to come off the 12 core units and it's going to go on 18 core. Remember, that any one unit move now means that my next impulse, I can't activate any unit in that core. So that was our impulse. No new cards to get. We've only got the 5th core card left. I'm just going to jump in. Hey, now hold on, am I? Because I'm forgetting, I've got 26 odd minutes, 30, 40. So that's 40 minutes. I wonder, you know what? I think I'm going to just cut this as a smaller part and start another German impulse right away before I even upload it. It's probably better. Grant. Yeah, I think it is. Right, okay. So I'll cut this. This will be, what was it? 17th part 10. And I'll be back with the next part very soon. Cheers.